Okay, so I'm back. Hey, Robert, once again, what's more profit money? Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to run Google Ads for attorneys. So how to get leads and just some of the best tips and tricks you're probably going to hear. So if you guys always wondered, how do people actually get all those crazy ads that pop up everywhere? Let's say you set up an ad and it's only showing just a little bit, and maybe you wanted it to go like really crazy and pop up here and here and here. When somebody clicks here, they actually see it. Well, I'm going to show you how we set up all that crazy stuff. As you can see on my screen, you can see the results here. So if that's what you guys are looking for and you're struggling with ads, or you're possibly just an attorney looking to figure out how to get more leads for your firm, then you're not going to want to miss this video. So keep on watching, because I'm going to show you guys how I did that. Okay, so I'm back. Should be able to see my pointer on screen. Here it is here. Okay, let's first, like always, let me just go and tell you how the video is going to go. We will be covering on time-wise. I should be running about 35-40 minutes. Maybe I can get done quicker than that. I don't know, but somewhere around there. I'm going to cover quite a few things. I do have my show notes to keep me on track, and it's just sometimes I get off track if you guys watch my videos in the past. So I am going to cover what you see on my screen. I'm going to show you how we actually do it, how we set things up, and this is for personal injury. I know people are like, whoa, personal injury, that's really expensive to run ads. Well, there's a way to do it, and I'm going to show you some of the tricks and tips that we do for personal injury lawyers that a lot of people probably skip and don't really know about. All they ever think about is, oh, it's going to cost me a lot of money, bam, bam, bam. No. So I'm going to show you some of that really cool stuff, and if you're just an attorney watching, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and just enjoy the video. And if you're not getting results like this, I'm just going to say this is what could happen if you get somebody who's really good at running ads. And of course, we're not trying to say that maybe the person you're working with is really bad. No, we're not saying that. I'm just saying that if somebody has experience with running ads, these are the kind of results that they can get if they really know how to implement, if that's the right word, all these strategies, tips and tricks and strategies. So let's just leave it like that, because I know a lot of people really struggle with running ads and they try their hardest and they just can't get things to work. So results will vary for whoever's doing this. I'm not saying you're going to get these results, but if you are hiring or outsourcing what you guys are doing, these are the kind of results that you should be getting. If you're not getting these kind of results and you're asking them the questions that I'm going to teach you on this video, then something's majorly wrong. They're not really experts at running ads. Okay, we are, especially me. And I don't mean to brag, but I want you guys to know that, yeah, I am a pro at this. I know some really cool tips and tricks, and I'm actually the one that trains the people that runs ads here for us. I'm the one that oversees everything and says, look, you click this wrong and this wrong, you have to do it this way. So that's the kind of person. I'm really picky when it comes down to that kind of thing. Okay, enough said, just so you guys know who's actually training you. Okay, it's always good to know that that person does know what's going on. So let's go ahead and dive right into this, now that you know what I've said, if that made sense. Okay, so as you can see on my screen, the results here is for less than 1 month. We did actually stop this campaign throughout the month's time for even 2 weeks, because the law firm had to, this is for attorneys, law firm attorneys, personal injury lawyers, and I'll get to that in a minute because I know everybody knows about personal injury, like, whoa, that's really expensive to run ads, blah blah blah. Yeah, but we had to stop this in the middle of while it was actually running, because there's a really good reason why, because the person that is the owner just could not be around for that 2 weeks. That's what I should say, that, because it's true. So, people leave and then they want to come back and this, whatever, for whatever reason. It's not always good to do that, but I still decided to show this one because we were able to do multiple ads, multiple campaigns with multiple ads, and I'm going to show you the structure on that. So in this video, I will show you the structure. I'm not going to go too much into the ad setting because that's really not what the video is about. You guys already know all the clicks and stuff. Just the people that run ads and are watching this, video, you guys know what settings to click on and what not. I'll try to touch on some of those. But if you want to know how to run personal injury lawyer ads, and just keep on watching, and you guys know that the keywords can be really expensive. You can see we spent 1,172 in 30 days, and we got about on track for this one. It goes close to 48 calls per month. So the leads that come in, the calls, your average is going to be about 40 to 48 calls per month. We use Google Voice for tracking. So what we use, let's go to the funnel structure so you guys can see how we set this up. Let me kind of blow this up just a little bit more. I can't. That's probably it there. Okay, so as you can see here, these are all Google ads on my left of my screen. So there's like 4 ads on each campaign. So we got multiple ads running in each campaign. We usually run 3 campaigns per client, and we shoot them over to the landing page, high converting landing page with the Google tracking number and planted all over the place. And these ads are set up for call ads basically, but more to that later. And any questions that you guys have, always leave it in the comments, and I'll show you how the results that we get these crazy results. Because the bottom line is you just don't want leads. You want to make sure that they're actually dropping into your Google Voice tracking. That's the main thing. Conversions, and you can look at all that crazy numbers and stuff, and I'll get into that too. But the main thing is, what's the end goal? Are you guys actually getting the phone call leads? That is what we're after here. So then we customize Google My Business as well. I'll get into that, but this is the complete funnel. 3 to 4 ads, and then we drop them into the landing page, Google My Business, and the Google Voice tracking number. That's how we're all set up, and then we should be averaging 40 to 48 calls with this type of campaign. That's what's going on. So now I'll try to answer some of the questions that many of you guys have. So for the people that run ads, you guys know, like you're probably wondering, well, what types of ads am I running, or which kind? So there's the main ones I would say that everybody runs is a Google search ad, and then you can run Google local ads and Google My Business ads and smart ads. I know a lot of people say like, well, wait, smart ads? Why? I thought that was really bad, or this and that. Smart ads has actually changed. If you look at a smart ad now and you look at the way it's configured, and inside you do have more tools and more settings to actually play with the keywords. It's got like a special thing that's called search terms and themes and this and that. But what we found out with smart ads is they really work a lot better now, and they're actually bringing in some of the phone calls, like actually majority of the phone calls that we get. So when you're testing ads, don't just listen to somebody who said smart ads is bad or something. No, watch what happens when you run a smart ad. So what we actually do, like if we're testing a smart ad, we'll run that one smart ad only, and then we'll go ahead and look on Google itself and see where it's actually hitting. So we can see that it's bouncing off Google My Business. It's at the top. It's on the left of the ads. It's really showing the ad everywhere. Then you know the ad's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, and you can see that the phone calls coming in from that smart ad, if it's configured right. Remember, you got to have experience and know how to configure a smart ad. Then you're going to get the results that you're looking for with the phone call leads, as you can see me pointing here. Okay, so that's how all this crazy stuff works. Let's go ahead and touch really quick on the Google Ads setup, what we do. So here's another thing. A lot of people, I do have my notes, and I'll get into that here quick too, but some of the things before I even show you on my notes, I just want to say that the way we set Google Ads up is, a lot of times, as you guys know, the people who have experience in setting up ads, you know how the sections are all set up to where, what are you going to say in this title, in this part, all that stuff, everything that's inside each one of these ads, no matter what it's set up for, all the content is coming from our landing pages that have been designed for that attorney niche. If it's personal injury, if it's an employment lawyer, divorce, lawyer, whichever landing page or whichever niche they're in, that landing page, that content is going right back in these ads, and that's what's going to give you a high optimization score. The higher your score is when you guys create your ads, means that Google loves it and is going to show it when it starts going into the rotation of when you're paying for your auction and when you're paying for keywords, and just a whole crazy thing. So if you have 3 ads here running at the same time, it is going to cost you a lot of money, but you can see how much money we've spent. What we do is we test them. We get all three going at first. We turn one off. We let them keep going. We see which one's doing the best. And then we'll tweak out in 2 weeks. We'll turn off some things, like tweak them out and just optimize. That's the correct word. And then we basically, to drive it home for that 1 month home setting, we usually come home with one ad only running, and then we just leave that one ad on, and then we drive it home just with that one ad, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's how it basically works, and then you're going to get all your phone calls coming in. So I'm going to show you guys that too in a second here. I'll prove that the phone calls come in and all that stuff, because that's the main thing. You guys want to know, is this really working or what? Now let's talk about some of the calls that come in. So let me just go ahead and click on that now so you guys can see that. Okay, so you can see the calls here, and if we scroll up and down, there's just tons of calls here. There's a whole bunch, right? Just goes on and on and on. But I'm just going to leave it here because I know I have to blur all this stuff out because we got to hide the numbers and all that. Sorry for about all the blurring. But what I do want to say is, what kind of calls are you guys getting from ads? So let's go back to the funnel structure. Keep in mind, just because you're doing all this crazy stuff and you got your funnel going on and you've really picked the correct keywords, even if you're using smart ads and you've dialed in on the search theme and all that stuff, if you guys are getting calls, some will be spam calls. So you got to make sure that your clients know this. You will get a few spam calls here and there. You might even get a few people that will call you that are actual clients but are from a different state. You get very few. Those are actually getting better with not giving you junk leads. So, but some of your calls will be scammers. I would just say that. And then again, you have to look at the calls coming in. Are they the ones that the client really wants to work with? Is it really niching down? Because the way it works is, when you run certain ads, no matter, even if you niche it down and you really target the keywords, especially for what you guys are actually doing, you are going to get other people that your ad's going to jump in front of, and they're just looking for attorneys for different things, and it might even not be in the niche that you guys are in. So there's no way to get around that. So the main thing is, just do the best thing you can, choose your keywords accordingly. Make sure that if you're trying to keep the costs down, let me go ahead and pull my notes out now so I can go ahead and talk more intelligently. As you can see here, I put down here some of this stuff here. Okay, the keywords, always make sure that you have, there's a little section on there on bidding, maximum CPC. Put your bid limit to what you guys don't want to pay more for the keyword. So if you guys are spending $2 to $3 grand a month, you might want to just say, I don't want to pay more than 30 bucks per keyword. So what you do is, when you drop in all your keywords, you drop in a whole bunch of keywords. You don't necessarily have to go through, well, you should go through each one, but even if you have a couple hundred in there, at least you know that you've already told Google, hey, I don't want to pay more than this per the keywords that I'm actually after, and it's going to choose the best ones for you. When the ad starts running, you go back in there and you optimize your keywords, get rid of the ones you don't want, and then you can just remove them. So you're constantly tweaking your keywords, and that's how you get it to go at a lower CPC bid limit, and it never goes over. So even if you have some of those crazy keywords that are super expensive, like $200 a click, 3 or 4, you don't have to worry about those because you already have your limit set. So that's what we basically do to keep the costs down. That's some of the tricks. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense with you guys there. Like I said on my list, 48 calls. But if you guys are working with an outsourcer, let's talk about that really quick. Some of the outsourcers will tell you, like, hey, we're going to run ads for you. And what they're basically doing is running one search ad. They're driving maybe 20 keywords to it, some of the most expensive keywords. And is it set on exact match, phrase match, or what? It's wrong. You should, if you guys are just starting out, do exact match and phrase match only. That's it. Stay away from broad match, and I know most of you who run Google ads know that. So it's either going to be exact match or phrase match. I really like to always start with exact match, pull up a bunch of keywords, stick to that, run those on your search ads, and then You're going to do your local ads. If you guys don't have experience with that, you need to play with local ads. Learn how local ads work. And one of the most important tips and tricks, here it comes here, is optimizing your Google My Business. Make sure that you have that totally set up with lead capture and a custom landing page inside of Google My Business. Okay, so you guys need to set that up. Want to make sure that everybody understands that. So let's go over some of the things that are on the list here first. And I'm sure you guys know what's going on with that. Always set up your conversions first. Even if you have your conversions set up, you always are going to get a little reminder on Google. It says, hey, something's wrong. Conversions are wrong. They're not set up. They always do that. We have all our conversions set up right. The main thing is we always track phone call leads. Of course, we can see the phone call. We don't even need anything to tell us because Google Voice has shown us that. Okay, make sure your Google My Business is set up for lead capture. And again, anybody who has questions on this, go ahead and send it over. And we'll go back to the ads again so I can show you what it shows on there if somebody missed that. Types of ads. So we could do Google search ad, local ad. Okay, this is inside Google. Okay. And a smart ad. You can do that too. Test all three, see which one works for you. If you're trying to keep the price down, I would say under $2,000, play with that and try to do about $55 to $60, $70 per day. And now that should keep you guys in budget. Okay, so make sure you guys put a cap on the amount that you guys are spending per keyword. I already showed you how to do. It's down here, but it should be up here. Maximum CPC limit. Ads to run per campaign, always run 3 to 4 ads minimum. And you should get around 48 calls a month. So if you're not getting these kind of results, it doesn't mean that the person's like totally bad about running ads. They just don't know how to test many of the things that we basically test. We test so many things here, and you won't know unless you really play with this stuff and geek out in it over and over. So if you're trying to learn the stuff yourself, it can be overwhelming. Get somebody who knows, but at least you know what to ask them now. So if somebody says and you're outsourcing it to them and they say, well, we're just gonna, all we need is your, they usually tell you this, all we need is your landing page and your tracking number. Fine, you can give them that, but always ask them, give them that. But always ask them, what types of ads are you running? That's very important. Is it a search ad? Okay, you should be involved in the keywords that are being ran in that ad, or you should see them. You should want to know more, because I get a lot of people that call me and say, actually they send messages, excuse me, and it says, we're running ads, and the outsourcer came back with this. They ran a bunch of keywords and it just burned through our money. What is wrong here? We're not getting anything. And a lot of people will say, hey, you need to spend $200 or $300 just to get one phone call. That is not true if you set things up right and you do a lot of testing. So it always is different for whichever state you guys are in as well. I mean, it's gotta, we do ads in all, not every single state, but a lot of them. And it's always going to be different per state. Okay, just I want to make sure everybody knows that. But that's one of the things. Always make sure that you guys are really touching on those keywords. Make sure if they're choosing expensive ones, you guys got that bid limit set. That's the most important thing to keep the price down. And make sure Google My Business is connected to your ads. Make sure you guys are running extensions. I believe I put that in my show notes. That's why I got to have this here, because I totally just forget some of the things. Yeah, use extensions. Always make sure that you guys are running call ads. We care more about call ads more than somebody filling out a form. Our ads and our landing page is set up with 2 forms on there, 2 major forms, and the Google My Business tracking number everywhere. So we're always trying to get somebody to fill out something. They'll fill out a form here and there, but we don't care. We are after the phone call leads. Okay, that's the main thing. When somebody's hurt and they're looking for an attorney fast, they want to make sure that they're landing on a page that has a number and says somebody's going to pick up and get them in contact with an attorney quick. So make sure that thing is actually set up just right. Make sure you test all that stuff. If it's going to a assistant who answers the phone and just they're really busy. Oh, please hold, and you just put them on hold. You need to have a talk with the people before you run ads for them, because the majority of the time, somebody who has like a bunch of phone calls coming in for some reason, even though they hired you, they still say they need business, but somebody who's answering the phone just keeps saying, please hold, and they're rude. Like some of the times the people that we work with, I can't even get through to the attorneys that I'm working with if I try the main front desk. And I tell them that try to call your main front desk and watch what happens, how the calls are actually routed. Some of them are totally blown away. They had no idea that it was so hard just to even speak to somebody there and get the first few words out, because somebody always says, please hold, and just gets rid of you. So if somebody's rude and they're doing that type of thing, they're ruining the whole entire business. That's why you guys need to always be on track. If you're an attorney watching this, make sure that that person that's working for you is not killing your business by being rude and answering the phone the wrong way. They should understand how to work with a high call volume, know what to do, and always have an intake form ready when the calls come in. Because when you run ads like this and you guys are spending a lot of money, the phone will go crazy here and there. And plus you guys get your own phone calls as well. So, I just see that, and it just drives me nuts when I'm like, it's not us. It's somebody who's ruining it when the calls come through. Okay, and enough of that. Okay, so let's go back into the ads over here. Let me see if I can get over here. Okay, so what we're looking at here again is, so you guys can see this. So let's talk about this one last time here. So the clicks were for 1 month, 734. And this campaign should have done a lot better because we paused it actually twice. Okay, the impressions are 138,000. So for the people who are new and don't really know about this stuff, clicks is huge, impressions is still is outrageous. That's just a bunch. And your CPC, cost per click, is just so low, it's incredible. And what we've spent per month, we're under the $2,000 range by far. I mean, this was only supposed to be a $1,500 account. We're at $1,672. I mean, really good. I mean, I could get into the campaign and show you more and dive in, but it's going to show all the attorneys' names and all that stuff, so I can't do that because I got to blur out everything. And it's just not fair for the people that we work with that we're showing them, because, you'll get somebody who always wants to copy or something. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so if you guys are trying to get leads for attorneys, and make sure you got the structure. Let me go back to this one last time. So the trick is you're going to need to run 3 ads at first. I'll say it one more time. Let them run. Let them pick up some speed. You need to let them run for about 2 weeks, okay? And then you're going to go back and optimize them, turn things off. You can play with the keywords in the first 5 days to make sure you're not wasting money. But in 2 weeks, that's going to be your major optimization, okay? 30 days, when you guys, if you're pausing it at 30, then that's when you guys really look at the data and figure out what's going on. We usually run the first week is going to be optimizing keywords, and then I would say 2 weeks in, we're usually trying to figure out which ad's doing the best. 3 weeks in, we usually know. Even 2 weeks, we actually know. And we're probably going to turn off 2 ads, just keep one, drive it home with the 1 ad, keep the cost down. We can see that we're getting calls every day. We usually average 1 call every other day, and then sometimes every day or every other day we'll get 2 calls. So that's our phone call leads conversion, I guess we can say. So the conversions are pretty good. You want to make sure that you're getting the calls. And like I said, it doesn't mean just because we're getting 40 calls, they're all great calls. I think on this campaign alone, out of the calls that came in, they only got one client to work with. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh yeah, they got all kinds of clients to work with. No, everybody knows who runs ads. You need to run these ads for 3 months minimum. Like attorneys, if you guys are watching, remember to get the best results. If you're working with anybody, it's always 3 months in. Let it run. We're not promising that the calls that come in are going to be all clients. Some will be spam. Some aren't going to be people that you guys want to work with, but that's just the way it is. But we're getting your ads to pop in front of everywhere. When when somebody goes to Google and they search, you're going to be in the maps. You're going to be in the map pack. You're going to be in the Google My Business. Is going to fire up. It's going to be all over the place. You're going to be on just Google search everywhere. And of course, I just want to touch on the Google. Let me just go over here real quick to my show notes. I did write this down. Some of these are the questions that people always ask me. And we'll stop it right here. Okay. So people always say local ads, like, where do those run? They run on Search Partners, YouTube videos, Display Network. You guys need to go in there, type it in, figure it out, and see what all that stuff means for the people who are new. If you guys are just attorneys watching, don't worry. It's just layman's term, but they just go everywhere. But again, people who run ads, we always stay away from display unless you're running display ads. Search Partners are the ones that a lot of people like to stay away with because they feel that it does waste a lot of money. On some of these, you won't have settings to turn those off. That's the way their ads are set up, but they still will bring in the phone calls by you testing. Of course, it's going to be different for whichever state you guys live in. A smart ad is going to be the same way. It does run on Search Partners, Display Network, Google search, but there is really limited settings on there, but it seems they really have changed a lot, and it does drive home a lot of leads. I will say that, and phone call leads. Really good. Okay. And of course, the number one I would say would be your Google search, just a regular Google search, and just go ahead and turn off Search Partners. You do have settings there, but sometimes people that forget to turn that stuff off, and then they test it, they'll actually tell me, wow, I got some good results. Well, Search Partners is almost like a branding thing. I don't really like to use it as a branding thing. I'd rather use Facebook or YouTube as branding, but if you want to use Search Partners for branding to get it pretty much everywhere, you can do that, but just know it is going to spend a lot of the money that you guys have been set up for, or whatever the word is. I know the word, but I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to say it wrong. But yeah, so just know that there's always so many things to tick off and on. You leave one tick wrong on setting up an ad, it's just going to go crazy. For instance, when you guys are running smart ads, it's going to give you a choice in there. Do you want to send everybody to a landing page, or do you want to send everybody to your Google My Business? If you guys are new at this, you want to test both, of course. Okay, landing page might do better in the area that you're in, or your Google My Business, just that hitting on that will do that as well. But there is ways of making it do both, and you can accomplish all this crazy stuff still in a search ad when it's linked to a search ad and you're using extensions and you have it under a location section. Sorry for being technical. That's why I didn't really want to talk about the technical stuff too much, because that's more for another video where we get in all the settings and show you all that stuff. And of course, we teach all this stuff. If you go to our course, all that crazy stuff's in there. So whatever questions, like always, leave it in the comments. I don't want to keep this video going on and on. It's going to be super long, but hopefully you guys got a good understanding on how to run a Google ad campaign or campaigns and really get things just crazy and get an average of 40 to 48 calls per month for under $2,000. That's how you actually do it. Just make sure that you have set up every little tip and trick that I talked about, and it will, your results will vary from state to state. You're not going to get the same results. It's me. It's impossible. You're not doing the exact same settings, keywords, all that stuff. So always ads will be different. And one last thing, if I'm not trying to say that you have to find this one person that has to do that or that or that. It just, whoever you're working with, just make sure that you're asking them what types of ads are you running. Get involved with it. Ask what types of keywords. Make sure they're setting up. Google My Business is number one. If you don't have Google My Business set up and it's optimized and it's set up for lead capture, it has to be. That's what we do first. Number one is that it has to be set up for lead capture and optimized with the tracking number. Then we set up the ads. We would never set up any of this without Google My Business being set up. So it's part of the funnel. A lot of people don't realize that, and they go ahead and they set up ads and they leave Google My Business out. And it's such a big part of running ads, and it's always been, and it's really more powerful than ever now. Don't skip that part. or your ads will not, you're not going to get the leads and the conversions that you saw on screen. It's just not going to happen without Google My Business set up. And of course, always use a tracking number. This way, when you're doing, like if you're wondering, people who are watching this, why do we always use a tracking number? Google My Voice, whatever. Use whatever tracking setup you guys are using, but you have to use a tracking setup to keep track of the calls that are coming in for your advertising, so you can go back and tell your client all these leads that came in are from us, because that's from our tracking number. That's not your phone number. Always use a tracking number so you can prove the hard work that you guys have done have got the conversions for you guys. Okay, so if you guys want to learn more and you guys, you know, saw what you've seen here and you want to just learn how we do funnel structures and stuff, watch this video here. And if you want to learn a little bit more, go ahead and watch this video over here, and this is going to teach you some more crazy things on the way that we do marketing. So watch both this one and this one, and I will see you guys on the next video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that crazy bell. All right, see you in the next video.